Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where the 99 Leads. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and the program Where the 99 Leads refers to the historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus, but more importantly lead from campus into the community and into the world. Today we talk with UPike students from the University of Pikeville and from the University of Pikeville Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, a couple of student leaders from the university. First, Colin McCoy, UPike senior and undergraduate SGA president, joins us now. Colin, welcome back.
Well, it's good to be here.
You're here in a different role, but you've been here before and we've talked. Let's talk about Colin McCoy and your background, where you come from before coming to the university.
Yes, Andrew. I'm from Inez, Kentucky. I've graduated from Sheldon Clark High School in 2012 and grew up in the mountains, and I wanted to continue my career at UPike just because I came here to play soccer and just I really just wanted to stay close to home. So.
Very good, and that's a choice of many students that have grown up in the mountains. If you can get your education in the mountains, many students look to do that. You came here after graduating from Sheldon Clark High School, and what was your academic major when you got here?
Actually, when I came, I was undecided, but later on I changed to secondary education, social studies, which I'm still at. I actually start my student teaching in about a month, so I'm really excited about that.
Very good. And of course, SGA president, Student Government Association president at the University of Pikeville. Andrew Collins, second year ChiCom student, one of the med students in the community. You're simply known as the med students. And we are so happy to have the students from the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine in our community. So many of those students in the community and on campus on a daily basis. Andrew, you're the SGA president at ChiCom. Let's introduce you to those that are tuned in. Where do you come from, and talk about your arrival at the university?
Yeah, I grew up in Hazard, Kentucky. I left Hazard, graduated from Hazard Christian Academy, and then went to the University of Kentucky. Spent 4 years there, majored in biology and chemistry, and then decided to come home for medical school, and came back to UPike.
Very, very good. And of course, ChiCom, about 280 students currently on campus any given time?
Yeah, about 280 on campus, and we have about another 280 that are at different sites across the state.
Second year ChiCom student, first year as tough as everyone says?
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to be motivated to do. Second year presents its own challenges. You start studying before your board exam that you take at the end of your second year. But yeah, first semester anatomy is probably the hardest course that you'll take in medical school, so it presents it with its own challenges.
I would imagine. Second year students just seem a little more relaxed, a little less on edge than many first students. They have that look in their eye.
Yes, the second year students, I believe, we've been through about 8 exams at that point, so we're a little more seasoned. We're not shooting for A's probably anymore,
right,
which is one thing the first years are stressed out about. So.
Very good. You both are in leadership roles in student government associations on campus. What's the role of SGA on campus? Colin, let's get started with you for the undergraduates at the University of Pikeville.
When I took office, SGA had a few different roles and a few blurred roles, and I really wanted to emphasize the role of liaison between the students and between the administration of the university. But obviously we do other things. We plan a lot of events, lot of events, and so a lot of planning goes on, a lot of stuff comes across the way, but then we also, we just want to be there for the students, let them know that they have a bit of a voice. We want them to know that we care about them. We want to be the middleman between them and the administration. We oversee organizations and clubs. We try to make the student experience the best that it possibly can be. So we do things like Welcome Week and just whatever we can to make sure the students enjoy themselves while they're at the University of Pikeville.
What are some of the next projects coming up from the SGA?
The next projects, actually today we have bumper cars on campus. So we're going to have students, they're going to release some stress from finals by driving around on bumper cars and things like that.
Got to tell you, bumper cars sounds fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, and blowing off some stress. I've experienced bumper cars on US 23 many times. Andrew, let's talk about the role of the medical school's SGA program and how it might be different than the undergrad.
The medical school SGA, we just focus on the groups that are in the medical school. So we have about 25 clubs, and so our SGA is made up of those presidents of those specific clubs, and then the class leadership. So we have about 60 voting members of SGA, and SGA is the umbrella that kind of everything kind of falls under. So you have class leadership and then club leadership. SGA, as far as on our e-board goes, we are a sister of a parent organization called COSGP, which I go to about 5 meetings a year for that. I also serve on the research council in that organization. And that organization is made up of all the student government presidents at all the other medical schools across the nation.
Right, a great group. Colin, with more students on campus, UPike's grown since you've arrived and continuing to grow. More students on campus, the number of active clubs and organizations has also increased. What type of organizations make up the undergrad SGA?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I actually wanted to get as many organizations on campus because even if an organization only has 5 members, it appeals to somebody. So I've really pushed for that, and I think we've grown. But we have a lot. We can still grow, but we do have a lot. We have political clubs that have really taken off this semester. We have the Young Progressives and the Campus Conservatives. They're both really taking off, so it's really cool to see them grow. We have volunteer organizations like the Impact Club. We have the fraternities and sororities that make up that. We have Spiritual Life. We have a lot of honor societies. The Biology Club is a very active club. They're one of the most active. They have their haunted lab every year, which is just an amazing experience. I actually went through twice this year and really enjoyed that. So we have basically anything that the students show interest for. We have one club called Weird, where it's WYRD, where they just get together and play video games and stuff.
Sure.
So really, if a student comes to us with interest for a club, we want to get it off the ground. We want to see it started. So we're always looking for clubs, and we're always growing.
Absolutely, and I want to back up just a little bit to the political clubs that you mentioned that are on campus. What were the names of those again?
We have Campus Conservatives
Yes.
and the Young Progressives.
Right.
Because neither club really wanted to be just the Young Democrats or the Young Republicans.
Exactly.
Because they may not agree with everything. So they went with a more vague term, I guess, so that they can appeal to more people than
Right.
usual. So
Have these two groups gotten together, and have we had any debates between the two publicly?
there has been discussion. They planned one and it fell through. So as of now, I think they're still in discussion about when that could happen. There are actually medical school students involved with the clubs and stuff too. So right now, I think they're planning another one, hopefully for the spring. I'd really like to see it take off. I'm really good friends with the leadership in both organizations, so it's something I really want to see, and I think the people would like to see. They actually they're thinking about doing also a voter information forum where they just, instead of necessarily debating, they just state their views so that people can realize who they should vote for in the upcoming presidential election.
An educated voter is a better voter.
Exactly.
And I would think that there would be many that would be interested in seeing that. I think we've got some new programming for Pike TV when that happens. Andrew, more than 280 med students on campus every day. I would imagine there's a variety of organizations available to them as well. Let's talk about some of the organizations available to the ChiCom students.
Yeah, we have about 25 different clubs. We've actually started one new club this year. It's a research emphasis club, something that the university had never had before. We did that. We've done that the first SGA session, and so that club actually, as soon as it was created, it was the second largest club in our SGA at that point. Has about over 40 members, so it's a really thriving club right now. They're going to offer some different perspective. They're going to have a research project every year. So that's something that we really are proud of, that in our SGA group that we actually started that, and something that we hope that will grow into a much larger thing down the road. All our clubs are either affiliated with a national organization or a local chapter. Rotaract, which is affiliated with the local chapter of the Rotary Club. They do a lot of work. Coach for Kids. They weekly or every other week they have a homework helpers that's going to be out at the Y. They help kids with homework. So they do a lot of active stuff. It's also the club that our mission trip comes through, which I think is one of the things that we'll be talking about maybe a little bit later. But so the Rotaract's another club, and then we have some national affiliate clubs, such as our surgery club, such as our American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians student chapter, our SOMA chapter, which is affiliated with the AOA, which is our parent organization through osteopathic medicine. Then we have a spouses association, which is for the spouses and significant others, and that's a really active club. They do a lot during white coat graduation. Every block exam we have, they offer breakfast and provide breakfast for our students. So we have a lot of active clubs, like 25 is typically what we have right now.
Right. And I know in meeting several of the med students over the years, spouses and significant others are a big part of that, because most of the med students that arrive here, they are more than just one. There are even families involved, and that's an important part of the educational process as well for the students at the med school. Colin, a UPike local fraternity recently became affiliated with a national organization. Let's talk about the fraternities and sororities and the process of a fraternity joining a national organization.
It's really funny you mentioned that. I actually, 2 nights ago, was voted in as the president of the national fraternity. So I'm very involved with that fraternity. I think that it amazes me to see them finally getting off the ground and us going national, because a few years ago it wasn't on the horizon.
Sure.
And we had a group of students who got together, a committee who was made up from Greek students who are involved with Greek organizations already, and then non-Greek students. It was chaired by students Cody Davis and Lauren McGuire, Lauren representing the non-Greeks, Cody representing the Greeks, and they just started the process. They went through our SGA, made a proposal just to open campus to national organizations, made a proposal, went through our SGA, I signed off on it, we voted, and it was a unanimous vote. Then they went to the Dean of Students, she gave it the thumbs up, then to Governor Patton, and then finally to the Board of Trustees in October, and then that's when campus was open to organizations. Then for the fraternities, they started shopping around. Just it's really easy for a fraternity to go national after the campus is open. They just have to find one they're interested in and one that's interested in us, and then we vote, and that's how it happened. We end up being affiliated with Alpha Kappa Lambda. The other fraternity on campus is still searching, and but then on the sorority side of things, they're it's a little bit of a different process. They have to go through the National Panhellenic Council. So I'm not sure of all the details of the process, but sure. I know that it's a little longer. They're still working on that, but campus is now open for them to go national too once they get approval of the NPC.
Sure. What does that mean for a UPike fraternity to become involved and with organized with a national organization?
See, when the fraternities and sororities started in 2010, they were just local chapters. Just sure. Like I was a member of Delta Alpha Lambda. It was a fraternity that nowhere else in the world. It was just at University of Pikeville, and for us to go national, it shows it's a way for us to connect and to network with other people who may be in the same profession as us, or just to build a brotherhood with people with a larger organization than ourselves. I think Delta Alpha Lambda has 25,000 alumni or something like that. So or Alpha Kappa Lambda. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see that now we're part of something that's bigger than ourselves. They have national philanthropies they go through. Our local philanthropy was always Judy's Place. We went and helped them with whatever they needed and whatever we could. So now we have national organizations like These Hands Don't Hurt, and then cystic fibrosis and stuff like that. So it's just us trying to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, and something we can put on a resume and say we made an impact in some way. So
very good. Colin McCoy, UPike Senior and SGA President of the Undergrad Student Government Association at the University of Pikeville, and Andrew Collins, second-year student at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, our guest. And Andrew, the med school hosts several DOs on the go clinics throughout the year. I've heard about these. I've seen them in action. DOs on the go, truly the doctors of osteopathic medicine on the go, out in the community. Tell us about the event and what are some plans on the events this year?
Yes, DOs on the go, like you were just talking about. It's basically when we go out into the community and we'll actually set up a clinic, and we usually try to get some organizations to come in with us that maybe offer like dental cleanings, some stuff like that, dental checkups. And so we will team up with those organizations, and we'll pick a place, and we'll go have a like a medicine awareness day. We're doing one actually on February 6th at East Ridge High School. That'll be from 8 to 4 at East Ridge, and that's going to be co-sponsored with the SOAR initiative. Obviously the medical school, the Appalachian College of Pharmacy, Big Sandy Diabetes Coalition. So we're going to be offering various things. We're going to be obviously offering the osteopathic manipulative therapy. We're going to be offering blood pressure screenings, actually some health education on nutrition, and some various things like that. And so that will be a good time for anybody that can't make it out to maybe one of our free clinics in the Cole building, somebody that can come out to East Ridge, somebody on that side of the county that can come out to that.
Talk about the free clinics that take place at the Cole building.
Yeah, anybody can come to those. They're absolutely free. You'll be seen by a osteopathic physician along with an osteopathic medical student and an osteopathic fellow. You can make an appointment. It usually takes about a month to get in because there's a lot of spots, but there's a lot of actually people wanting that.
Sure.
So it's actually hard to get in. So it takes you about a month, but you just call the medical school, and then on the phone recording, it will have a place that you can actually select to talk to somebody in the clinic, and she can set you up with an appointment. But yeah, you any kind of low back pain, any kind of pain you might have, it's really good. Osteopathic manipulative therapy works on extremely well for low back pain, rib dysfunction, any kind of trouble with breathing. So I would encourage anybody in the community that might have those problems or any problem to come out and see if we can help.
And you say it takes about a month.
It takes about a month.
And that phone number.
I do not have that phone
I'm
number.
going to jot that down,
Yeah.
because I attribute it to old age mostly, but lower back pain I can relate to. The DO's on the go. You've been out there in the community. What's the response like from the public?
It's great. I mean, we usually have a large turnout. It's, like when we have our free clinics, we'll see probably about 2 or 3 patients an hour. In Deals on the Go, we can see 5 to 10 patients an hour. So it allows us to see a larger patient base, and then just to meet new people we've never met before. We're kind of centralized here in Pikeville, and with East Ridge being a little further out, it allows us to meet people on the other side of the county that might not be able to come to the medical school.
And that date again?
February 6th. That's a Saturday. It's 8 to 4.
Colin, the student experience takes place both inside and outside the classroom. Some of the most important education you'll receive in college takes place outside of the classroom. How is working with the Student Government Association providing you with leadership experience?
I always say that I've learned a lot in the classroom in my time at UPike, but I've learned so much more outside of the classroom. I've learned so much more about myself, about others, about how to communicate with others and things. But the main thing with the Student Government Association, if I've learned anything, it's how to work well with others. It's how to be efficient in a group, because sometimes I'm a very hard-headed person. I like to do things my own way, and
Right.
And I like to I like to do things without letting others know. So I mean, I've really grown with the Student Government Association. I think that I've really kind of molded into myself, and it's provided me with so many opportunities, so many conferences, so many just opportunities to work with others. Even before I was president, when I was just on committees and things, I knew what it was like to be part of something larger and something that could benefit the students and benefit somebody else. I learned to be a servant in a way.
Sure.
So,
Colin McCoy, UPike Senior, SGA undergrad president. Andrew Collins, second year Chi Com student at the University of Pikeville's Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, SGA president at Chi Com. And Andrew, each year we have students in the program who travel to the Dominican Republic for the annual Chi Com mission trip. Always love hearing the stories, both before, leading up to, in preparation for that. Maybe some that have never been on a mission trip of any kind, and then to hear those stories after the fact as well. Organizing the trip is a huge undertaking. Where are you in the planning process for the next trip?
So the mission team's already been selected. We've had multiple meetings at this point. We have about 30 to 35 students that are going to go. We have one physician right now. We are looking for other physicians, so if there's anybody watching this broadcast that would like to go with us, we'd love to have you. We also take some spiritual leaders such as Rob Music on campus, goes down there, and they will hold like a Bible school and Sunday school for the in Bate Nueve, Dominican Republic. We'll see about 1,000 patients. One of the big things we'll provide there, obviously the medical treatment, but we'll actually give them about 3 months worth of vitamins, and that's something that we don't think about here in America. That's a big hindrance there is malnutrition. So just to give those people 3 months worth of vitamins, and if they come back every year, they're getting a lot better nutrition than if they would have not, if we hadn't been. We're one of the only groups that go there, and we've been going there for about 10 years.
I wonder how that began. Wouldn't you love to hear the story?
That would be awesome to hear. There's our students also participate in other medical trips.
Sure.
This is the school one. We actually have a DO Care club, and that's all they do is do medical missions. I have some friends, not from the university, but some friends with that organization. They're in India right now hosting a clinic. So one of the big things about osteopathic medicine is reaching out not only in America but into the world.
Indeed. You're tuned to Where the 99 Leads, and we're talking with the leaders from the Student Government Associations at the University of Pikeville and Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. And Colin, the undergraduate SGA leaders recently attended a national SGA conference. What were you able to bring back to campus from the conference?
Yes, this was our second conference we've attended with the American Student Government Association. The first one was in New York in February. It was very cold, but it was a great experience for us. Then right before homecoming week, so the weekend before Halloween, we went to Chicago. So it was, for most of us, it was our first ever time being in Chicago. And we were at Malcolm X College there, which is a city college in Chicago, and it was just it was a great experience. I've been twice, so I've learned a lot from different sessions and things. We got there and we went to breakout sessions. There were sessions about how to properly how to maintain the relationship with your SGA advisor, and what you can do better in that relationship and what they can do better in that relationship. And there were like 13 steps to a super student government, which was probably one of my favorite. It was breaking it down step by step how you can improve your student government. They had facts from student governments across the nation about what their budgets were like, what they were doing, how many members, and so it was really cool learning. There are schools there all the way from NYU was at the New York conference, and then you have community colleges and such a wide variety.
Sure.
And it's really probably the most beneficial that I've been to. The first time I went, I was the treasurer of SGA, so I was in a roundtable session with just treasurers, and then this past time I was in a roundtable session with presidents and vice presidents. So I probably learned the most there, and how they maintain their SGA, how they lead their SGA in a way that is appropriate, in a way that is beneficial, but then also what I can do better, and also what I can share with them. So
Sure.
It was just really cool getting to talk to other presidents, seeing what they go through on a daily basis, and comparing it to some of the things that may come in my way. So.
Very good. Andrew, med school students also participate in National Osteopathic Medicine Week each year. What's the focus of that week, and how are ChiCom students involved?
Every year it's in April. This year we're going to be in Washington, D.C. during that time. So we'll be lobbying for osteopathic medicine and medicine in general. So we'll have to take about 100 students there. We're trying to plan one of the biggest celebrations we've had at the university, and actually in Kentucky. We're reached out to several senators, and hopefully reach out to the governor here in the next couple of weeks about making it National Osteopathic Medicine Week in the state.
Sure.
We've also been in talks with some of our representatives in Congress and senators in Congress for declaring it in the nation National Osteopathic Medicine Week. So we're looking at a lot of different things. We're gonna offer a whole week of just community service projects, hopefully put in about 2,000 hours over that month in community service, and that will bring us about 10,000 community service hours for the year that we'll be able to provide to the community as a way of saying thanks to you guys.
Sure. Community service is a big deal at ChiCom.
It's extremely big. We try to increase it about 10 to 20% every year. This year we're shooting for 30%, which would put us at 10,000 hours, which if we reach our goal, will be about the second or third as far as percentage-wise in the nation as far as medical school community service.
And community service is a big deal at the university as well for the undergrads. I don't want to slight that, but it just seems that at ChiCom there's a larger percentage of the students that participate. And I think just giving back to the community is a tremendous effort that goes on there, and obviously a concerted effort as well. Andrew Collins, second-year student at Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, SGA president at ChiCom, and also Colin McCoy, our guest. And Colin, let's talk about some of the undergraduate SGA projects that are currently in the planning stages.
Yes, right now we are planning our we're having a spring retreat for SGA leaders. I mentioned that before. We're just going to work with each other, kind of some bonding things, kind of a session where you find out what you could have done better and how you can work better as a team. But then we're also in the process of planning. We're already starting planning Welcome Week next year.
Sure.
We've done surveys and things all throughout the year to figure out what works and what doesn't. I think Welcome Week this year was a huge success, but there are always things that we can do better, and so we're in the process of working on that. Homecoming Week is obviously always in the works. A thing that I have a vision for, we'll probably go over this a lot during the retreat. I would like to see more spring involvement in a way, because in the past it's been in the fall you have like Spiritual Emphasis Week, you have Welcome Week, you have Homecoming Week, you have all these different weeks that have events going on, but in the spring you really don't have a whole lot. So I would really like to see that I would like to see a little more involvement that way next year. So that's also, we're in the process of planning things like that. We had the It's On Us week this week and about sexual assault awareness, so it was a really cool experience. So things like that I would like to see planned for next year. We're in the process of working on it. So but ideas are always coming up. Sometimes
Sure.
we plan things on the spur of the moment. Last year, one of our biggest events was we had a free bingo night where students showed up and played bingo, and they could win prizes up to a TV and as low as toilet paper. So it was that was really cool. We had 119 students show up, planned it on the spur of the moment, and we advertised for one day and had 119 students show up. So events like that are always happening. Just something to get students involved. Open mic nights, things like that. So. We're always open ears too. We have office hours so that people can tell us what they want to see.
Sure. Don't diss the toilet paper. Any win is a good win.
Exactly.
Colin McCoy, SGA president at the University of Pikeville. Andrew Collins, what's next for the ChiCom SGA?
We'll plan several trips. Myself, I will be in Vegas in January 14th through 17th, representing the medical school at a conference there. Me and my vice president will be there. We're also planning on going to Washington, D.C., like I was mentioned.
Sure.
We're planning on going to Orlando for the National Osteopathic Convention down there. And then we'll be at the ACOM, which is basically the medical school colleges conference in April. So several conferences. We're also going to do a health week or a health emphasis, mental health emphasis throughout the spring semester. We'll bring in several professions. Physician burnout's up about 10% from 5 years ago. About 200 physicians commit suicide every year. So we're really trying to put in a lot of programs now to prepare people and to get them to know how to deal with this kind of stress now. Obviously, we have stress now in being in medical school, but it's only going to exemplify and go up as we advance in our careers. So if we can learn how to deal with this now, and could save us problems down the road.
Andrew Collins, thanks for being with us.
Yes, thank you.
And Colin McCoy, UPike Senior, good luck to you as you wind up your undergraduate career as well. I know it feels like yesterday. You just got here, right?
It seems like yesterday I was eating in the old cafeteria.
There you go. Colin McCoy and Andrew Collins, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Leads, our Student Government Association presidents at the University of Pikeville and Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. That's going to do it for this edition of Where the 99 Leads, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia. Thanks for tuning in.